Hi, I'm Oonagh Williams. I thought I'd share with you some more of my favourite dishes today. And as usual, everything I make is from scratch, mainly anyway, and with all real ingredients, so you really taste the difference. I do hate getting stuff outside that just tastes chemically, and it's not particularly healthy for you anyway, so at least if you make it from scratch, you know it hasn't been messed around with all the chemicals. And this, you know, going back years ago when the kids were little and we were all in play groups and we'd have potluck dinners together and everyone brought something. I don't know about you, but I also ended up with a whole load of really great recipes because we'd try something out like it and we'd all pass the recipes around. And of course, with kids running around like mad, you want the simplest recipes. And this is absolutely wonderful. It's very popular with all my clients, especially the men. It's got that sort of flavor they all like. Very, very simple. And of course, by the magic of television, I did this mixture in advance, so now you're seeing it. But this is going to be a taco dip. And it starts off with an 8-ounce brick of cream cheese. If you're totally addicted to Philadelphia and 100% cream cheese, go for it. But I buy the ordinary store brand's light cream cheese, which is also known as Neufchâtel. I find it works just as well because by the time you add all the spices and seasonings, there's no point paying out the price for the expensive stuff. You don't notice it. So you've got the 8-ounce brick of cream cheese, a cup of sour cream, and yet again I use the light sour cream. I see no need for the high-fat sour cream. And then to go into it, this is the ordinary onion soup powder that we all know for the onion dip. So I just open it and pour it into an old clean spice jar. And I put in 2 teaspoons of that. And this is why you have to leave it really overnight, because you know from making those onion dips, that onion needs the time to reconstitute. Otherwise, it's like chewing on a piece of cardboard. And then also to go into it, I put in cumin. Now, cumin is a Mexican spice. It's very mild, quite a sweet flavor. It's not strong and hot or anything like that. And you can see from the size of the tub I use, I buy this at an Asian supermarket where I pay for this 1-pound jar roughly the same $4 as you'd pay for a tiny jar like this in a supermarket. And then to go with it as well, just really whatever is your favorite salsa, you put that in. Now, if you like quite a tangy, spicy taco dip, use a hot salsa and put even more of it in. If you don't like it really spicy, just put a little bit in. I like it just so you know the flavors are there. I don't like it burning your mouth, but make it in advance, leave it, and taste it the next day. The salsa you can definitely add to at that time. It's the onion soup powder that you really need to mix into it and give it the time to reconstitute. So basically, that's all mixed together, and that's all we do with that bit. And then we're going to put onto it some grated cheddar. Now, lots of times I normally buy, the recipe originally said orange cheddar, and I think that was more for the colour than anything. But we're now so conscious that the orange cheddar is from food colouring, which is very bad for a lot of kids. So you could use just plain Monterey Jack. If you really like the spice, go for one of those jalapeno cheeses, but still you want to shred it. So it's like the ordinary shredded cheddar you get in the stores. And we're going to layer it with shredded lettuce, very finely shredded, and also with tomatoes. Put it all together and you've got a wonderful dip. So I'll assemble it and you can see it. Okay, so you can see how creamy that mixture was in the jug, and I spread that onto the base of this dish, and then I've put on top of it a sprinkling of the cheddar, then on top a layer of romaine lettuce, which of course you've washed and got really dry because you don't want to dilute anything down. And I haven't just cut it in very thin strips one way, I've cut it across the other way, so it's very, very small pieces. And on top I've used the grape tomatoes that I've either halved or quartered depending on the size. You can use big tomatoes, but depending on the time of the year is whether the tomatoes are really sweet and great or not. So grape tomatoes tend to be quite good most of the year round, so I cut those up and put them on top. And then instead of using the bought tortilla chips, which are quite high in fat calories, these are ordinary corn tortilla chips that I just tore up roughly and baked in the oven. You can also tear up pita bread and use that instead. And with pita bread, you can get the wholemeal pita bread, so it's better calories, better carbs for you. And I quite honestly prefer the flavor of the wholemeal because it's just got far more flavor than just the plain breads, etc., made from all-purpose flour. Now, the other thing I like to do with this is I like to serve it with a spoon and a small plate and a fork, because I find if you try and scoop this stuff with the tortilla chip, be it the bought ranch chips or these ones made yourself, it tends to crumble like mad. So I like to supply small saucers or small plates with it and forks, and then just a spoon for people to dip with it. Now, apart from serving this as an appetizer at a party, my son loves it if I'll put the ordinary tortilla chips, just the round corn ones, in the oven, and I'll put cheese on them and let it melt, and then we'll take it out and put dollops of this cream cheese mixture on, and the lettuce and the tomato and pieces of chicken, and it makes a complete dinner, and he loves it that way. And the cream cheese mixture, you can use it as a spread with a ham or a pork or chicken sandwich instead of butter or mayonnaise, and it's really great. So let's put it out there, and you can see it on the display. And I'm going to get a piece because I love this stuff, so it is no sacrifice whatsoever tasting it. And if you leave it out the fridge for about an hour before you assemble it, then the cream cheese is still soft. That's why I say you need to use a spoon. If you take it straight from the fridge, the cream cheese is so hard it's going to break everything. So I'm going to chew away quite happily here. Died and gone to heaven. I love this stuff. And I love the lettuce and tomato contrasting with everything. It's so, so good. So I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. It's very popular with everyone. So easy to make. Not going to break the budget for you, so go ahead and enjoy it. And I'll see you soon. Bye.